Alright. Welcome everybody, it's Lazy Actor, and I got another quick tutorial for King going on here. Okay, so in my last video I talked about a little bit on how to get some of his command grabs off, and then how to mix up your multi-throws. And some people asked me if I wouldn't mind going through each chain set and breaking down your options, because the move list is a little confusing, and since I already know it, why not share? So I figured that's a great idea. I'd love to make a video like that, so I decided to. Okay, so we're gonna stick with our crouch dash grabs in this video. We have our crouch dash 2 break. We have our crouch dash 1 break. Each have various options of during the command. We're gonna start with our 2 break option. Your first option here is your Indian Deathlock. This is your 1+2 break. You initialize it. And if they fail to get the 1+2 Indian Deathlock, this third part here that does the beefy damage is guaranteed. Nothing they can do about it. You cannot break that. STF is your 1 break option. It does okay damage, I think 65? No, 60, okay. And then your 2 break option, Scorpion Deathlock, does 65, yeah. I'm pretty sure this one does 65. Okay, and then what I like about that one is it leaves you with pretty good Oki. Moving on, this is your 1 break crouch dash grab command. It gives you your 1 break option here, which is triple arm breaker. It's a 50 damage, and it ends the multi-throw attempt. And keep in mind, it also crosses up your positions. Well, it always leaves you on 2-player side for whatever reason. Okay, your excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Your 2 break option, Head Jammer, upon successful implementation, if they do not break it, then it guarantees you struggle combination. Which is pretty good, 60 damage. And then your 1+2, which is unique in that it doesn't really guarantee you much more damage. You'll get 40 damage if you get this part in, only this part, so it's like a high risk, high reward kind of thing. So you get the lowest damage possible if you don't get the next grabs off. But what it does is gives you the option of going into this 1 break or this 2 break. So you'll do this. Your 1 break is Dragon Sleeper Finisher, which I failed to input. There it is. It's pretty beefy, I think 70 damage. Yep. 70 damage. And then what everyone's so scared of, your Rolling Death Cradle. And that's your 2 break option after they fail to do anything about the 1+2. And it's 110 damage. Now, some tips / advice. So some things to note here is that Rage will increase the damage of all your multi-throws. So the lower your health is while you're in Rage, the more damage your multi-throws will do. Meaning Rolling Death Cradle can be used as like a clutch, kill you at 130 damage, I think is his max. I don't know the numbers right off the top of my head, but you can play around with it in matches to see. But that also takes your very meh options, like your arm breaker, your 1 break option for your 1 break crouch dash grab, and turn it from 50 to 60, 65 damage, which if you look at the health and you kind of understand how much health they have left, you can use that as a mixer to kill them. And then some advice on how to get these off. Make sure that you look up a few videos on button buffering. I have a video talking about it. Much more experienced Tekken players all have videos talking about it. They break it down even more. It kind of depends on your peripheral. I use a PlayStation 3 controller, so in my opinion, button buffering is mandatory. But everybody who plays King at all, uses his multi-throws, says button buffering is the best option. And the second advice I have for you, besides familiarizing yourself with button buffering, and I can put out tutorials if anybody struggles with any of these, besides button buffering, when you were trying to mix up your opponent, let's say we're fighting a fresh opponent, right? We never fought this guy before, and you can assume a couple things. You can assume that he is kind of familiar with King's throws and therefore understands your most damaging options and where he should go with each. So you can use that to kind of engage is that he's probably scared of rolling Death Cradle, or he's probably scared of King's Bridge, because they do the most damage out of the options presented. And so you can just assume that he's probably not going to break the other throws. That's how I always start out the match. Now, you're not always correct. Sometimes people are noobs and they just mash something, and some people even use the option of just going 1-2, 1+2 over and over and over again to kind of take away the mind games. It's pretty easy to know if they're doing that. After a while, you'll realize that no matter what you're doing, they kind of either eat full damage or they break in random spots that generally didn't make any sense. Like, for example, if I'm doing my arm breaker and someone broke it, it'd be like, you're not scared of rolling Death Cradle? Or you're not scared of struggle combination? You decided to break 50 damage? Okay. So if they break that, I will assume they either don't know what they're doing, or that they're just randomly picking buttons to try to take the mind game out of it. Both those options don't matter to you. If they are randomly picking buttons, then they have a very low chance of actually breaking any of the chain throws. Simply because when you take the mind games out of it, you're just inputting randomly in a very tiny input window. So chances are, if they're going to miss an input entirely, or even if they don't, they're going to put the wrong one in. You know, on most of these throws, you have a 33% chance to land them, or to get out of them. That's not the way I do it. I like to try to keep my brain in the game. It's up to you as a player to determine how you'd like to do it, but it's fairly simple to destroy people who do those options. And that's all I have for you today, guys. My next videos will be pulling up his other pairs and breaking them down to show you what your options are. And then the last video we do on it will be the Jaguar step command throws and your options in each spot. So stay tuned for more videos. Please like if you liked, leave me a comment if you have anything to say, and then I'll see you guys in the next video.